buy other silver online and stuff for a little bit less, but it's trustworthiness of
Ralph, did he
security.
Some silver dollar.
And
You won't have to deal with it.
You just wanted to.
Well, the money and all of that.
Yeah, true. There's that.
Are you talking about the
time here for citizen public comment? Any public comments? Item number 4, the mayor is welcome. The mayor is not here, but you're all welcome anyway. Item number 5, consider the approval of the agenda.
So move.
Second.
Roll call.
Starr.
Aye.
Yeager.
Aye.
Friesman.
Aye.
Hammond.
Aye.
Malero.
Aye.
Item number 6, consider the approval of the minutes of the September 28, October 3, and October 12 meetings. Discussion.
I'd so move.
Second. Roll call.
Yeager.
Aye.
Friesman.
Aye.
Hammond.
Aye.
Malero.
Aye.
Starr.
Aye.
Item number 7, we'll consider the approval of the consent calendar.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Friesman.
Aye.
Hammond.
Aye.
Malero.
Aye.
Starr.
Aye.
Yeager.
Aye. Item number 8, approval of the business of the mayor. We have a little business of the mayor. Emily, would you like to tell us what you're here for?
I'm here for the reading of...
You have to go up to the
Go up to the
microphone
mic if you
Mike,
would.
sorry.
and
Emily.
introduce yourself.
Yeah.
I'm Emily Profts with Crisis Intervention Service. I'm the domestic violence advocate for Floyd, Mitchell, and Worth counties. And I am here this evening for our annual proclamation reading for October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So,
Okay. Now read this first, we approve it first.
I'd so move.
Second.
Now we know.
now we
Roll
know. Hammond.
Aye.
Malero.
Aye.
Starr.
Aye.
Yeager.
Aye.
Friesman.
Aye.
I'll come down and read it, Emily.
okay.
Do you have anything special going on as far as activities?
We have quite a few in Saragordo County that they do this year. We haven't got anything really big for domestic violence.
Okay.
in this county. We have a lot of, we have the START team for the sexual assault side of it.
Okay.
And so they're more of a group and they get some really good stuff going. But I think we're going to merge next year. And so maybe we'll get some more stuff going
Okay.
next year for this month.
Thank you.
Right up in physical on this, so I get to read it to you.
Okay.
Okay. You have a lot of whereases in here.
Well, there is a lot of whereases in there.
Okay, whereas home should be a place of warmth, unconditional love, tranquility, and security for most of us, home and family can indeed be counted among our greatest blessings. Tragically, for the community members, these blessings are tarnished by violence and fear. And whereas domestic violence is more than an occasional family dispute, it is a serious crime that affects people of all races, ethnics, ages, mental and physical abilities, socioeconomic status, religious backgrounds, and genders. And whereas children who grow up in violent homes are abused and neglected at a higher rate than the national average, and more than 4 million children in the United States are at risk for witnessing domestic violence each year. And whereas domestic violence costs the nation over $5 billion annually in medical expense, law enforcement and court costs, shelters and foster care, sick leave, absenteeism, and reduced worker productivity. And whereas only a coordinated community effort will bring an end to this epidemic of crime and violence, and we as a community must address the problem of domestic violence in our homes and neighborhoods every day of the year. And whereas a coalition of organizations has emerged to directly confront this crisis, law enforcement officials, victim service programs, healthcare providers, and faith community, and other concerned citizens are helping in an effort to end domestic violence. We must recognize the compassion and dedication of these volunteers and professionals and applaud their efforts and increase public understanding of this important social problem. Now, therefore, I, Jerry Yeager, Mayor Pro Tem of Charles City, do hereby proclaim the month of October 6th as Domestic Violence Awareness Month and urge all citizens of Charles City to observe this month by becoming aware of the tragedy of domestic violence, supporting those who are working towards its end, and participating in the community efforts. Dated this 17th day of October. Thank you for the work you're doing in this area. It's
thank
very,
you.
very important.
I appreciate
you.
you guys taking time for us every year. So.
job, Gary.
That was a lot of whereases. You did
You're
good.
awful long-winded. Okay, we'll go item number 9. Petitions, probably don't have it here, petition?
Nope, nothing under 9.
Number 9 is out. Number 10, ordinance and resolutions. Consider ordinance 7816 approving a contract for fee accountant service for public housing. Heidi?
Heidi Nielsen, the Housing Director. Our current contract with our fee account is up in December, and we had to send out a request for proposal to several firms to ensure that we're getting the best services we can for our dollars. A fee accountant is a specialized accounting firm that does our financial statements for us, but they also prepare all of the reports and HUD submissions that we have to submit to HUD during the year. And we received 3 proposals back. One was from C-Neighbor and Associates, one was from Housing Authority Accounting Specialties, and the other was from Laux and Schwartz. All 3 of the firms have more than 30 years experience, so it was kind of hard to compare and contrast the services that they were going to offer because they're all, equally qualified to do the service. So we looked at the cost. The Housing Authority, the Housing Board, we met last week or the week before and reviewed all these proposals, and they felt that the proposal from C-Neighbor and Associates gave us the best bang for our buck, basically, and they are also our current fee accountants, so they are familiar with the way we do business being a city department. So the Housing Board has made the recommendation to approve the proposal from C-Neighbor and Associates.
Okay, any questions?
Has their work been satisfactory so far?
Yes.
Heidi, how long have they been the accountant?
They predate me.
Okay, so they've been at it a long time for it. Okay. Okay. I'd so move.
I'll second that.
Discussion? Roll call?
Malero.
Aye.
Starr.
Aye.
Yeager.
Aye.
Friesman.
Aye.
Hammond.
Aye.
Thank you, Heidi. Don't sit down yet. Item 10B, consider Resolution 7916 approving the change order for Morningside Handrail Project. Heidi?
Okay, this is the project that we are doing where we're replacing handrails at all 3 of the housing developments so that we can be in compliance with the ADA requirements. When the original plans were prepared, they had inadvertently left some of the handrails off of South Cedar Terrace. And so this change order is to add those into the project. And there was also a previous change order to do some grading and some drainage work out at Morningside. And so they would like to add some additional sod onto the quote that they had submitted to cover that extra excavation work. So the total change order is $7,846.25. And it brings the total project cost to about $176,000. And the funding for this is going to be paid primarily out of the 2015 and 2016 capital fund grants.
Okay. We discussed this at our planning session. Any more discussion?
There's adequate funding in the account to cover the additional expense.
Yeah, we just have to shuffle a few things around.
Okay. I'd so move.
Second.
Roll call?
Starr.
Aye.
Yeager.
Aye.
Friesman.
Aye.
Hammond.
Aye.
Malero.
Aye.
Okay, thanks, Heidi.
Thank you.
Item 10C, consider Resolution 80-16 approving the facade application from Kurt Wallerbach. Mark, I think that's for you.
Good evening, Mark Wicks, Community Development Director. You have a request in front of you for $3,000 from the Facade Improvement Grant Fund by Kurt Wallerbach, doing business at Synergy Physical Therapy. He's moving into 318 North Main Street, the former Fastenal building. This is to help, this particular grant would be to help relocate current business sign Add print window headers to doors and windows, build and install a new sign on the front of the building, and all the electrical connections and lighting associated with that. This would, if approved, deplete the facade improvement fund for this fiscal year.
What was the total amount of that?
Total amount of the project's $8,300.
I mean, the facade improvement, we had 25,000?
$25,000 a year.
Okay. And this would be
And
the
this
end
is
of that?
the fourth project you've had come before you that's been,
Okay.
will be approved if you approve it.
Any other questions? We talked about this at our planning session.
And this fits within the parameters of the grant?
Absolutely, signs are covered, signs removal and addition. And this is part of an overall rehab of the building that the Walderbachs are doing, including extensive landscaping and improvements to the front of the building planned at the council's request at an earlier council meeting. So community revitalization is absolutely behind it. The design committee is recommending approval of this request.
I would so move, Your Honor.
Second.
Roll call?
Yeager.
Aye.
Friesman.
Aye.
Hammond.
Aye.
Malero.
Aye.
Starr.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Chester, or Mark. He didn't get it. Okay, item 10D, consider resolution 70-16, awarding contract for 2016 Victory Park Improvements Project. Who's handling that one?
Yeah, the Victory Park Improvement Project. First, that project includes sidewalks, plantings, benches, irregular rock walls, and other ground coverings, which will enhance the new Victory Park and complement the sculpture highlighting the historic swinging bridge that was destroyed during the 2008 flood. The City Council approved the preliminary plans and specifications and authorized taking of bids at their July 5th meeting. And then at the September 19th meeting, the Council did approve the final construction documents and held the public hearing. Now, bids were opened, or on September 16th, the City received one bid for the project, and that was from Building and Grounds from Oshen, Iowa. Now, Super Landscapes, their bid was higher than the funds we had available for the project. And so since that time, since we only had one contractor, one bid, we worked with that contractor to decrease the scope of the project to lower the overall construction costs. Now, Super Landscapes' original bid was almost $73,000. It was $72,932. And what we've done now is we've eliminated 200 square feet of proposed sidewalk. This decreased sidewalk will also eliminate the need to put in pedestrian curb ramps at the intersection of Clark and Illinois Street. It also eliminates the need for 2 benches by the river. Now this decreases the cost of the work by $8,800. Also, the area around the sculpture was planned to be porous pavement. That had a relatively high unit cost. So in lieu of the porous pavement, we've worked with the contractor and we're going to put in stained concrete. And the use of the stained concrete in lieu of the porous pavement saves $10,000. Now, we feel the changes do not negatively affect the scope of the project, and especially the deleted sidewalk work can easily be added in subsequent budgets, and we can complete the project in a phased approach. The Park Board concurs with these proposed changes, and the new contract amount with Super Landscapes is $18,800 less than the original bid, or in the amount of $54,089. So I recommend approval of Resolution 70-16, awarding the bid to Super Landscapes in that amount of $54,089.
Okay, and then that reduced amount of about $54,000 fits into our budget?
It brings a lot more in line, yes.
Okay.
And then we'll use also hotel motel monies.
Sure. Any other discussion?
No. Go ahead, Michael.
I was going to say, it's never fun when we only get one bid, but I've had a couple of local contractors who were a little upset that they didn't get a chance at it, but are we satisfied with the process of which we put the bids out? It's up there for anyone to bid on.
Yes, yes,
So,
we had it out.
But we're satisfied with that process?
Yes.
Okay.
And I will add, too, that Super Landscapes, they've done a lot of our park work around the river.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't saying anything negative about that. It's just I don't like seeing one bid. It'd be nice.
Yeah, no.
It'd be nice in a perfect world to get multiple bids, but As long as we feel that we're comfortable with the way the process is out there for anyone to get in on to bid, then it's good.
And we always advertise locally, and then we submit it to several planning rooms, and so we try and get it out there as well as we can.
Yep. That's all we ask.
I know there's been a lot of committees that have also been involved in this project. Is this, all these changes with, lessening the sidewalks and all that stuff been run by the various committees as well, and everybody's satisfied with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the overall, everybody wants to get this done, and especially with this manner, we can still accomplish it, but just in a more of a phased approach.
Okay.
I would so move, Your Honor.
Second.
Roll call.
Friesman.
Aye.
Hammond.
Aye.
Malero.
Aye.
Starr.
Aye.
Yeager.
Aye. Item 10E, consider Resolution 81-16, approving the lease for driveway access at 1202 Clark Street. Steve, you want that one?
Oh, sure, we can.
I thought so.
Lori Peterson, she owns the property now at 1202 Clark Street, and it's which is a home. It's located across from IC schools, and the property doesn't have direct street access off of Clark Street. They currently have a shared driveway that they use with the adjacent property owner. But even with that, access to the rear of the property where the garage is located has been normally accessed from a adjacent property through their yard. That is no longer an option there. So Ms. Peterson came to the city asking if she could lease the city lot that was a housing buyout there to extend a driveway off of St. Mary Street to the back towards her house and access her home that way. That lot is one we've rented in years. Up until this year, we'd rented it as a place for a garden area. It really hadn't, I don't think that it was a garden was ever planted back there just because the soil isn't very good. And since it's a FEMA buyout, there's nothing you can do with vertical infrastructure to build on it or anything along those lines. So the fact that she would like to use the existing driveway apron curb cut that's already there and extend a gravel access to the back, it wouldn't detract from any use that the city has of the property, and could be a benefit and an access point to her own. So with that, we move forward with the idea of doing a 3-year lease. We'd leased that property for $50 a year in the past, so we've applied that same concept here at $50 a year for 3 years. So you're looking at a 3-year lease. Ms. Peterson, she'll be the one responsible for making the upgrades, installing gravel. We're not allowing pavement to be put back there, but there will be a gravel access, so it can be removed at a later date. Basically, that's what we're looking at here, is leasing that property to Lori Peterson for that purpose.
How wide is that lot? Do you know off the top of your head?
How wide? I think it's only 60 feet.
60? The lease is for her, is for the whole lot, not just the driveway access.
Right. It's a narrower than normal lot.
And then she would be responsible to mow it and so on, the whole lot?
She would be.
The entire lot?
I think
The lease, I believe, is just for an access 10 feet in width.
Oh, is it just for that one
across the
portion?
driveway.
Okay.
And after our discussion last week, we did include a clause that she will be responsible for any general maintenance associated with with the lease at her own costs, and then also upon termination of the lease, she'll be required to return the property to the condition it's in at the beginning of the lease.
Okay.
And Trudy sent that over to Lori, and she was fine with both those changes.
All right.
Good.
Any further discussion?
So move.
Second.
Roll call.
Hammond.
Aye.
Malero.
Aye.
Starr.
Aye.
Yeager.
Aye.
Friesman.
Aye.
Item number 10F, consider a motion accepting temporary and permanent easements from property owners for city sidewalk and storm sewer extension projects. It sounds like it's up your alley, John.
Yeah. The city, we're working on 2 sidewalk projects, and this will create ADA accessible walkways, as well as we're working on a short storm sewer extension project. And these projects will require acquisition of easements for the construction. Now, the sidewalk projects, the first project includes a connection between South Cedar Terrace and Quick Star. That will eliminate those steps and create a ramp between the 2 properties. as well as pedestrian curb ramps at the northwesterly corner of Blunt and North Jackson. And the storm sewer project, that includes a short extension of 12-inch storm sewer and placement of an intake between the properties on Park and Central Avenues, and this is just immediately north of First Avenue. Now, both sidewalk projects will require the acquisition of temporary construction easements. And the storm sewer project will require acquisition of both a permanent easement. Permanent easement will be needed for the storm sewer facility, as well as a temporary construction easement for the initial construction of the storm sewer and intake. So what we'd recommend is that the council approve the motion and authorize the mayor or the mayor pro tem to be able to sign these agreements on behalf of the city of Charles City.
All right, thanks, John. We've had this at a study session. Any more discussion of it?
The property owners are been contacted and okay with all of this and pretty well
Contacted, yes, and
agreeing
working
to.
with them
Good.
to, as far as the timing as well.
Okay.
That'll
So
be
move.
done.
Second.
Sorry.
Roll call.
You guys are moving way faster than I'm used to.
Efficient.
Malero.
Aye.
Starr.
Aye.
Yeager.
Aye.
Friesman.
Aye.
Hammond.
Aye.
You were going to ask a
Okay.
question, Joe. I
Yeah,
didn't
that's
mean
going to
cut
be
you
done
off.
this fall yet, John?
That's what we want to do, yeah, is
Yeah, okay.
do all three projects yet this
Keep
fall.
weather like this, you can. All right. Number 11, miscellaneous correspondence.
Well, I got an email from Dennis White this afternoon. He had some questions on the wood chip discussion that we had the other night, some questions on Victory Park and the joint law enforcement, and city government protocol for employees and council members' responses to citizens, and so I forwarded that on to you guys. So if you want to take a look at that, and respond back to him, or if you want staff to respond back to him, however you would like to proceed with that. So,
I think at this,
would be to have the staff respond back.
correct.
I think it's a uniform response and appropriate.
I think if we could be provided a copy of that, that'd be great.
sure, we'll forward you a copy of that when we get her done then.
All right. Okay, Brad, attorney's report.
Nothing at this time, Your Honor.
City clerk's report.
Oh, you are so naughty. The next planning session will be October 24th at 7 o'clock. And if you guys want to mark in your calendars for trick-or-treating, get your costumes ready to go. That's going to be October 31st from 5:30 to 7:30.
Jerry's always ready.
Sure he
Or my
is.
clown uniform.
Yeah, he's got his costume on right now, so.
Old codger.
Careful.
Watch it, Friesman. Was it 24th is the planning session?
Yes, sir, 7
And then
o'clock.
was the other one?
31st is trick-or-treating, so.
Oh.
On the 24th, don't we have a county? Maybe not.
No, I don't think so, do we?
That's United Nations Day.
We're here on 27th.
Okay. Thank you.
It was supposed to be the 24th, but that didn't work, so.
Okay.
Could have been the 24th, but
Right.
it didn't work.
That it, Judy?
Yep, that's it. Mhm.
City administrator.
Yeah, just, we're working on our post-flood things right now, and we're getting a lot of things wrapped up. City staff, excluding myself last week since I was gone, met with FEMA. We had FEMA representatives here, and so we discussed with them the various issues and things that we were dealing with, our various costs and whatnot. And so we are collecting information and just getting all of that ready in case we do get a FEMA national designation. We have not received that yet. Based on the last one that came out, it came out approximately a month after the event. So we're coming up within a week or two of that. So hopefully we'll hear something on that and we can get recouped for some of our costs. We have had assistance from the state with the use of state prisoners coming in to help with cleanup. going door to door with our junk pickup along the curb and with pickup of items out at the Park and Rec area, so that has helped tremendously. We've been able to get make claim on our motors at the wastewater treatment plant, and insurance is covering those, the cost of repair there, so that was good. As a footnote, footnote maybe, but the cost to repair the motors came in at, I was very pleased, it was about $6,600 for the 4 that we repaired. And we were bracing ourselves. We had the option of replacing them each for $11,000 a piece or try to fix them, and so we fixed them, and it came in quite a bit lower than that. So we still have the last mower that we're getting out of there that's being repaired now, and that'll probably cost about $6,000-7,000 in and of itself, just the way we had to get it out of there. So overall, the cost on that came in fairly low. So we're grateful for that, but we do have some expense there, and as we do across other departments. So we'll be telling that, and if we can get a FEMA designation, that will help. Broadband Communities is putting on a conference for communities talking about fiber to the home networks and how those are, the conference they're calling it Fiber for the New Economy, and how having fiber is a must-have for growing communities. So as luck would have it, this conference is in Minneapolis, and we're right in the heart of talking about this very same thing. So I'll be attending that conference starting tomorrow night, Wednesday and Thursday up in Minneapolis to learn what I can on that. So hope to come back with a lot of good information. Goal setting notes, thank you. I've gotten everybody's goal setting notes, and I've gotten them all from staff as well, department heads, so I appreciate that. I've been tabulating those, and I'll be sending those into the Institute of Public Affairs probably tomorrow, so they can have that information as we move forward on our goal setting. And just to reiterate, I was going to mention that our law enforcement follow-up meeting with Prohaska is October 27th at 5 o'clock. So that's all I have.
On the broadband, Steve, are they any closer to getting the survey thing completed, or where's that at?
Yeah, they are in the process of we're doing printed surveys. We're getting those done, so we'll be mailing those out here shortly. And so that process will be taking place. I know New Hampton just finished their paper survey collection, and they've gotten a pretty strong response that way as well. So we're probably a week or two away yet from finalizing that survey. But and as of right now, I don't know how many surveys we've had taken online, but I know within that first day or two, we were at close to 250 surveys that were completed online. So it was a pretty strong response. And so I'd like to think that's grown since then. But we want to make sure we get good saturation and try and get everybody to respond that can. So we're following up with the paper survey as well.
So people can still get online and do the survey yet at this point?
Yes.
If they are so inclined.
We had a deadline of October 15th, but we want to make sure we get all the information we can from everybody. So if you haven't gone out and done the survey yet, please do so.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
All right, on the flood cleanup, we had 8 prisoners here?
There were 7. There were 7 prisoners plus a guard for 3 days during the debris cleanup, and then they came back that following week to help out with the Park and Rec department last week.
Well,
so
that helped a lot, and it saved us a lot of money. Some of us talked about, and I contacted the warden at Anamosa about putting some money into their account, for their canteen account, you know. But he said that's illegal, we couldn't do it. But he said, apparently you liked him or you wouldn't be calling me. I said, that's right. Well, he said, what we will do, we'll put a condemnation thing in each of their personnel files. This was good, so they got something good out of it that way.
yeah, they were a very hard worker, and the guard was a hard worker too. He worked just as hard as everybody. So
Did he really? Cool.
he did.
One more
Appreciate it.
comment, Councilman, you got a copy of the cityscape in your box. There's a nice article in here on Mayor Erb, taking over this year as president of Iowa League of Cities, so congratulations to him. That's it.
Motion to adjourn?
Any board or commissions? Let's have a motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
We'll have to vote too?
Just all in favor, say aye.
Oh, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.